For over 100 years, the girl had tried countless times to leave the house, but each time she was stopped by an invisible wall of air.
For Pete's sake.
Since no one could see her and she had been trapped inside for so long, her only source of amusement was playing pranks on new tenants. She'd walk right past them just so they'd feel an unexpected chill, even on hot summer days. Sometimes, she'd make loud noises just to spook them.
Old house.
She thought this cycle would go on forever, until one day, a boy around her age from when she was alive moved into the house. His name was Cole. While organizing his new closet, Cole accidentally kicked one of his shoes into the wall. It hit just hard enough to pop open a hidden door. Behind it was an old photo album with a red and golden cover, likely left behind by a previous owner. The album was filled with photos of a girl named Beatrice, from her infancy to her teenage years. The last photo was taken during high school. After that, no more pictures, because that's when Beatrice had died.
That's private, mister.
Beatrice wasn't happy that Cole was snooping through her album. She kept slamming it shut over and over. But when Cole tried opening it again, a ring that had been tucked inside slipped out and landed silently on the carpet. Cole didn't notice it that night. The next morning he stepped on something sharp. Looking down, he saw the strangely shaped ring. It had 4 emeralds, each glowing a brilliant green in the sunlight, clearly very valuable. Curious, Cole slipped the ring onto his finger, and in that moment, Beatrice appeared behind him.
Whoa, is that the ring I took from you? What? Oh my God, you just saw me, didn't you? You just saw me. You just saw me.
That's when Cole realized as long as he wore the ring, he could see Beatrice.
When you put it on, you... Okay, can you please stop that? It's very annoying. No.
Once he was sure it wasn't just his imagination, he quickly threw the ring aside. Then he opened the photo album again, and the ghost he had seen looked exactly like the girl in the pictures. Meanwhile, the ring he had tossed to the floor slowly rose into the air and hovered in place. Cole picked it up and put it back on.
Okay. Can you please just keep the ring on this time, please? Thank you.
For the first time in over 100 years, someone could see her. Beatrice spoke carefully, her voice tinged with desperation, and pleaded with Cole not to take off the ring. But Cole seemed a bit frightened. He sat on the bed for a long time trying to calm himself down before finally asking Beatrice how she ended up here. Beatrice explained that back in 1930 she had taken a ring from a museum. While she was admiring it at the museum entrance, she was suddenly hit by a car. The next thing she knew, she was back in her bedroom. Ever since that moment, she had been trapped in the house, unable to leave from any angle. Beatrice was always cheerful and eager to talk with Cole, but Cole didn't want to be friends with a ghost. He told Beatrice that it would be better if they just stayed out of each other's way and acted like the other didn't exist. Beatrice pretended not to care and agreed to his request, but when Cole was doing his homework, she still made noises on purpose just to annoy him.
What are you doing?
Who is this pretty lady?
It's Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Is she a family friend?
Over time, through their conversations, they began to understand each other better. They discovered they both loved music. Beatrice had been born into a musical family and basically grew up in a conservatory. Cole had played guitar since childhood and could play nearly any song. But ever since his father passed away not long ago, he hadn't touched his guitar again. Cole didn't want to talk much about it and simply asked Bea not to make any more noise. Bea agreed, at least on the surface. But when dinner time came, she started causing trouble again, playing harmless pranks in front of Cole's mom. Cole quickly made up an excuse to cover it up.
High blood pressure. Salt is so bad for you.
After dinner, he rushed back to his room, put on the ring, and tried to negotiate with Bea. He said he would keep wearing the ring, but only if she promised not to mess with his mom again. His mom had already gone through too much after losing his dad, and he didn't want her finding out there was a century-old ghost living in their home. Hearing this condition, Bea was thrilled and nodded eagerly in agreement. But then she was confused. Why did Cole call her a century-old ghost? After Cole explained, she was stunned to realize she had been dead for 100 years. She had thought only 20 or 30 years had passed. The idea that that a full century had gone by shocked her. She had no clue what had changed in the outside world during all that time and immediately wanted to know. When BEA's hand accidentally stretched out of the window for some reason, the invisible barrier that had always blocked her suddenly disappeared. She was beyond excited and begged Cole to take her outside and show her the world.
Come on.
I'm out of the house.
It was her first time stepping out the door in 100 years. She greedily inhaled the fresh outdoor air. Bee had always believed the house had trapped her, but now she realized it was actually the ring. Wherever the ring went, she could go too.
You have to take me.
Where?
Everywhere.
Cole took her out onto the street and began explaining everything around them. They stopped by a sound system store to listen to modern music and used the internet to help her catch up on how the world had changed. From black and white TVs to smartphones and smart homes, Bee was completely fascinated. She especially loved smartphones that could store thousands of songs in your pocket. The next day, Ghost Valley High School was hosting a costume festival, and Bee really wanted to tag along. She also wanted to see what had become of her old school. Cole gave a helpless smile and said no. Everyone else would just be dressed like ghosts, so how could he bring a real ghost to school? Though he said no, Cole still brought Bee with him the next day. As soon as they arrived, a girl named Lydia stopped Cole. Bee, standing beside them, teasingly asked Cole if Lydia was his girlfriend. Even though only Cole could see her, BEA's comments made him blush. At that moment, Lydia felt something was off. She sensed a strange energy around Cole. Cole quickly took off the ring and told her there was nothing wrong. But Lydia had seen the ring clearly. Something about it felt familiar. She went back to her grandfather's antique shop and opened an old book searching for answers. Sure enough, the book had detailed information about the ring. The ring was called the Lover's Ring, created by an ancient Egyptian pharaoh and originally made as a pair. According to legend, anyone who separated the two rings would soon face death, and after dying, their soul would be trapped on earth forever, unable to move on. The only way to break the curse was to reunite the pair, allowing the spirit to pass into the next life through reincarnation. Lydia contacted Cole and shared everything she had discovered. Cole admitted there really was a ghost following him, and he wanted to know where the other half of the ring was. Lydia had already done her research. The other ring was about to be auctioned off at the Grish Museum in New York. Cole had a limited window to return the second ring before the auction ended. If he could do it in time, the ghost would finally be free, and he wouldn't be haunted anymore.
I don't know who's haunting you, but trust me, breaking the curse would be doing them a huge favor.
Rushing home, Cole excitedly wanted to tell Bee the news, but when he opened his bedroom door, he found she had decorated the room in a dreamy, romantic way. Cole sat down and started playing his guitar, lit by a soft glow, while Bee sat nearby, deeply moved by the music. Seeing her like that, Cole assumed she was happy being a ghost in the living world, so he pushed aside the idea of returning the ring.
It's just a silly song.
It's not silly. It's beautiful.
That is, until the next day, when he refreshed the auction site and saw the other ring had already been sold. Shocked and disappointed, Cole couldn't focus on his guitar playing. Bee noticed something was wrong and asked Cole about it. Cole made up an excuse, saying he had gotten a bad grade today at school. He turned his back and placed his guitar down. At that moment, a text from Lydia popped up on his phone, asking how the auction went and if the ghost was gone. Bee saw the message and asked what "no more ghosts" was supposed to mean. It was then that Cole finally admitted the truth: she had been cursed after taking one half of the lover's ring, which was why her spirit was trapped in the world of the living. If both halves of the ring were brought back together, the curse would be lifted, and Bee would be free.
You mean I wouldn't be a ghost anymore?
I don't know.
Cole had thought she was happy with her ghost life, but for Bee, time passed like a fleeting shadow. One day Cole would grow old and she would be left alone again. She didn't want to spend eternity floating in a confined space. She truly wanted to be free of the curse. However, the ring had already been sold at auction. No one knew who the buyer was, and it was now too late to return it. When Bee found out that Cole had known the truth even before the auction and had chosen not to tell her, she was furious.
You didn't want it
How
either.
could you not tell me? So I'm stuck here, like this, forever, and it's your fault.
Can we just go home and talk about
You
this?
had no right, Cole.
I didn't
How
want to
could
lose you.
I'm not yours to lose. I'm haunting you because I was cursed, Cole, and you could have fixed that, but you didn't. Go. Now.
Cole quietly set the ring down and left the music room. At the same time, since Cole hadn't responded to Lydia's messages, she came to the school's music room looking for him. Instead, she saw the piano keys moving by themselves. Lydia wasn't scared at all. She picked up the ring resting on the piano and slipped it onto her finger. She explained to Bea that Cole wasn't a bad person. He was just deeply lonely and didn't want to lose a close friend like her. Back at home, Cole looked at a photo of his late father and silently cried. His mother, who was grieving too, comforted him and said, "The dead are gone. What we must do is let go. When memories of them return, just remember the happy times. Missing someone simply means you once loved them." Hearing his mother's words, Cole knew what he had to do. He contacted the auction house, asking for the buyer's information, but they refused to disclose any details. However, they mentioned that the item hadn't been delivered yet, it would be sent out the next day. That meant the ring was still at the museum. Cole rushed back to the school music room and told Bea the news. With Lydia's help, they traveled through the night to the museum in New York. Using her ghostly powers, Bea unlocked every door they needed to pass through. Following the auction number, they made it to the warehouse and located the box containing the ring. When they opened it, Bea instantly recognized the matching half. Cole asked her gently, "Are you ready?" Bea looked at him and nodded. Just as Cole was about to remove the ring and place it in the box, Bea stopped him. There was one last thing she had to do, or she'd never get another chance. Though Bea was a ghost and couldn't physically touch anyone, she leaned in and kissed him. That kiss confirmed the deep bond they shared. Cole made his decision. He took off the ring, held it in his hand for a long moment, and then carefully placed it in the box. Afterward, Cole reluctantly left the museum. When he got home, he opened Bea's photo album once more. But this time, something had changed. New photos had magically appeared at the end of the album. Bea graduating from the conservatory, falling in love, getting married to the love of her life and having 2 beautiful children. At the same time, Bea found herself back at the museum in 1930 that she was holding the ring in her hand. This time, without hesitation, she returned it to its rightful place. From that moment on, her life changed. As she walked out of the museum, she successfully avoided the speeding car.